and welcome to the Cancer Journey podcast. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sherry Ann. And I think you should check in with us with Pesh first today.
Okay, physically, I am a 4.25. Emotionally, I'm a 4.5. Spiritually, a 4.4. And hope is a 4.4. And my word is breathing space. I want to inspire breath then.
Yes, thank you. I got it. Physically, I am 4. Emotionally, 4, 4. Spirit, 4, 4. Hope, 4, 2. And my word is trusting.
Okay. So, our topic today is what does it mean to be a human with cancer? And to have this very human experience and allow yourself to be a human instead of trying to be something else as you're
Yes.
navigating.
And it feels like to start, we have to kind of define what we mean by human.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just going to throw out my definition, and I'd love to hear where you're at with that. But being human means I have all my emotions. I have what we call the negative ego, which is that inner critic. I have desires and wants and needs, and I have like I'm a multi-dimensional person. I'm not just kind and compassionate, which I like to lean into, but I'm also, dare I say, a bitch and mean and selfish and jealous. I mean, I'm like all of that. And that's okay because I'm human.
Yeah, yeah. My brain, when you say, not just you, but when we say we're humans, that is like literally what comes to mind. What I was going to say is that we are not one or the other. We are the full spectrum. Like words like kindness and jealousy and all of those things that we find to be descriptors of experiences that we're having or that we're giving other people, they do absolutely exist, but we're not all that. We are variable people. We have the ability to change, and we're, as much as we strive for perfection, whatever our definition of that is, um we're never perfect. You're never all kind or all mean. You're not all good or all evil. Like, we have bits of it in all of us. And the experiences we have really start to make up who we become as well as who we innately are. So being human to me is just this complex amalgam of experiences, feelings, thoughts, all of that, but also just this impermanence of it all,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, and the growth and change that we get to experience that are so beautiful. Being human is it's so raw to really see it, right? Because it's so easy to say like, oh, I'm only human, but like to be really kind to ourselves and be able to make mistakes and recognize like bad things are going to happen. Like, we can try to like prevent bad things from happening or not have a negative impact or whatever, however you want to say that, but really at the end of the day we don't have control of those things, and we can only roll with the punches as they're served to us. So being a human, actively experiencing the next moment and the next moment and the next moment, means that we have to have compassion for ourselves and whatever comes up that is true for us.
That is so true. And you said a word that piqued me, and that was control. And what I was thinking is before that, another C word, which is choice. Being human means that we have choice. It's a very strong power. It's almost a superpower. Like, I get to choose whether I go left or whether I go right or whether I say yes or whether I say no. And that is all up to me. How I choose to see my situation is also a choice. And that makes me hugely human. But when we add in control and trying to control, now we start it's like we think that we can control situations. The only thing that we can control is us, which just brings us right back to choice. It's like I can choose about me. I can't choose for you. I can't choose for the next person. I can't choose for my clients. Um, they're individual humans with this superpower called choice and emotions and who they are is like me trying to control the world, the situation, or anything beyond me is truly impossible.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean we don't try. Again, that makes us human, making a choice. I'm going to try to control this situation because I'm afraid. I don't like how it's happening. I, so many of those types of sentences. But if I want to, going back to control, try to control, I can control what I do, hoping that it's going to have an impact on what's happening. So
Yes.
it's all about this here, me.
So I love everything you just said, and the things that popped out to me, again, the word control and the word impact, is that those are separate things, control and impact, especially in the way that we use them. And the idea of control has this exertion, this forcefulness of like what we think needs to happen, what we think is supposed to happen. There are a lot of like assumptions and misalignment there because it's like I'm gonna make this happen, whereas when you're kind of focused on your impact, it's more of like an internal choice that has an effect externally. Like control is almost like the intent to manipulate, whereas having impact is like the intent to be um aligned with your own energy, but also have consideration for the other people that are impacted. Like we can obviously try to direct our impact in a positive way, and I personally we would say that communication is the best way to do that, but there's this alignment that comes with impact. So if you're not aligning yourself and you don't know what your values are, what your strengths really are, like what really matters, what you care about, then your impact is not going to be aligned with that. And so you may be unintentionally exerting control instead of aligning with your own impact and attracting the things that really like are attracted to you, that are like magnetic to you because of just who you are, plain and simple, without any like, I really want that to happen.
So bringing that back into cancer and being human, when you're going through a cancer journey, you're dealt with a situation that is, by all practical means, beyond your control. Like you can't control it away. You can't control how it's going to progress or not progress or what it does. It's like it's you because it's happening inside of you, but you can't control it. Now, as we go about impact, it's like, okay, but I'm also me. And so, what can I do to impact this thing that's happening to me? And how do I, oh, there's like two things. How do I impact the cancer that's going on? And it really is not a doing, it is a being.
Hmm.
So it's not like I eat the right things or I exercise or those kind of doing things. While they could help and have some impact, there's also other things to be, which is open, in tune with your body, communicating that to the doctor so that they really know, because nobody knows what you're experiencing except you. And it's so important for that communications you were talking about to be clean and clear. It's like, oh, I've got this pain here, or I'm feeling this incredible fatigue and I can't seem to get out of it. Whatever it is, you really need to communicate that. And then that can then impact how somebody, preferably your medical team, works with you. And then there's also my moods, my emotions. I'm feeling sad. How do I deal with that? I'm feeling hopeless. What do I do there? And that's where a coach can come in to help you process that and embrace the humanism or humanity. If you, I like to play with that word. I'll make up all kinds of words around human, but the humanity of you, letting you know you're okay. You're not broken.
Mhm.
Your
Yeah.
body's not doing well right now, but you are still a whole person. Let's go back to that.
And I think that this being doing, right? We they almost feel like different things, but I think as you were speaking, I actually think that they're cut from the same cloth. So doing is the I mean, it's very much in our society to fix ourselves, fix other people. There's always something wrong we have to fix, and that's the doing, right? So I think it's totally fair that in our brains, right, it's like I have to do something because your brain knows kind of what it needs more in that moment, and so it wants to do and it wants to fix immediately, whereas the being is actually like the impetus before the doing. So it's while we kind of jump straight into the doing, if we pause to take a second and say, why do I need to do that, we discover what the being is of that action and why we want or need or crave to do whatever that action is. Like if the doing is to eat something like really fattening and like okay, fattening is not a good word. That's not what I mean. If you want to eat something really comforting, that's really what I mean, right? Because when we crave comfort food, we want something that soothes us. So what's the being to that? The being is I'm really stressed out and I can't even think about my health right now, and like I just need to eat something that's gonna make me feel good, and something that's gonna make me, even for just a moment, to feel even like a little bit bad, right? Like there's so many emotions and there's so much in this being place that causes us to do whatever we do, right? So when other people are involved, right, it's like an interaction, and instead of communicating what is being right here, right now, you go, let's do this. And people are like, whoa, okay, let's go there. But they don't know why. They don't know why you're doing the doing because you're not communicate where your being is. So like if you're like, I need to go right now, and someone's like, oh, okay. Like they could think I'm in pain, or I said something that upset them, or um I don't know, like they could come up with any story really, but the person who had to go, it was like, I remembered I have to feed my dog, but I didn't communicate that. So my being is that I feel bad that my dog is missing their meal right now and is going to be hungry, or they're going to break things in their house or something like that. But the more we can communicate that being, especially with our care team, like why are we making these decisions? We're making these decisions because they should align with you and they should feel right. Um, but there's no way for anyone to know that until you say something. So when you're going through a cancer journey, and it can be even harder. I mean, I think it's even harder when you're in a cancer journey because you are the first to put yourself aside, right? Like even when you know you're supposed to come first, it's almost like, okay, I'm gonna abdicate all emotions and whatever you say to make me better, I'm gonna do, and I don't care how I actually feel about it, just make me better. But if you don't feel good emotionally, it's not going to support your healing physically either. Your mental, emotional, spiritual health is just as important as your physical health when on a cancer journey. So it's actually probably a little bit more painful and hurtful to the process of healing to put yourself aside and not let people know what you're experiencing.
So much was said right there. I think we just need to take a pause because I'm pinging in my head. It's like, and that's human too. It's like, oh, that and that. I heard soothing and comfort, and we only are the only ones that really know what's going to soothe and comfort us. We are not always able to articulate that. So getting that space and that pause and not, I know that people want to help while you are on, they're on, we're all on a cancer journey. But it's in that quiet and the space that you were talking about that we really start getting understanding ourselves before we can even articulate.
Mhm.
So the first part I got was I need to self soothe. I need to find comfort. I need to ask for what I want, which in this moment is I just need to be quiet. I just need to get in. I just need to connect with myself to really understand what's going on. Because when cancer is here, that's a lot of panic, frenetic energy, um, giving your power away. So then you lose yourself. And coming back and being human is embracing all of what's going on with you. And it's hard to connect with yourself and your voice inside, whether that is your inner critic or just your inner voice, and going, so what am I feeling and what is it saying and what do I want? It almost becomes this jumble, and it's, you really actually can't hear it. So like getting quiet is so important. And then for some reason, we are not great communicators in the world. There are great orators, and there are great people who can give speeches and talk and communicate. But in terms of daily communications, it's like I'll say something in my head, and sometimes I think I say it out loud, and then I'll do shorthand out there, and people are like, "What?" So, that's all part of being human too. It's like, okay, you didn't get what I was saying. I thought I said it to you. Let me come back. And so it is really a time of, can everybody just slow down? And let's just reconnect. Let me connect with me. Let me connect with you. And let's not get into this freneticism that is always around cancer,
Mhm.
so that we can find ourselves, find out what we not want, ask for what we need, and just spend more time being than doing.
Yeah. And I think that we're just bred to be a little more assumptive of things that go on rather than being taught how to communicate with the intention of being fully understood. Right?
Hmm.
Like it's almost like sometimes we're told that we're too much to explain the depths of how we're feeling. And we rely day to day, right? Like when you run into someone, whether you know them or not, there are all these assumptions of who they are, what they're doing, what energy they're giving that surround us. I mean, we are very much energetic people. So like I feel the bubble of space around people, and if there's comfort to be closer or further away from that bubble of space, um but there's this like need to fix, this need to do, and the list is very long that we continue to put ourselves aside and not even recognize, because the being is, it's happening, we're just not recognizing it. And so the more that we can recognize and share with people, like the better we can feel, especially on a cancer journey. Like one of the things that I was thinking about as you were speaking was that it's so socially unacceptable to be negative in any way. But then especially when you're a cancer journey, like when can I just scream expletives? Like when is the appropriate time to be angry? Um no one gets a diagnosis and is like, okay, like no one ever is getting that diagnosis of I'm sorry you have cancer and being like, well, okay then, and like not feeling much about it. I'm not saying that there isn't like a freeze moment or a pause moment where you're just like, I have no idea what to do. Certain that comes up for everyone. Not everyone's just loaded with fire right away, but there's always going to be fire behind that diagnosis, behind just all of this frustration that like now I have to put everything else on pause. It's almost like nothing mattered. Like there's so much that goes on in our head, and a lot can be negative ego, but this energy of anger and frustration and rage is so real and true that because we're not in a society that allows us to just be like, like just to let it out, more often on the cancer journey, that builds up and people start to feel less and less and less heard. I mean, something that we experience here, especially when new people are coming in, is they have a huge story to tell and they really, really, really need to be heard. And I can understand how in their daily life with their friends and their family, right? Conversation isn't just about them. And they need that. They need it to be just about them. So that way they know that someone cares about every little bit of the emotions that are coming up for them in their experience, and like every minute detail of how they're feeling at different times of the day, different seconds in the day, because where else can you put that? You can't put that in your pocket and pretend that it's not there. You can't put that anger and rage. It's the pushing down of emotions, right? So, like, where do you put it so it doesn't manifest somewhere else? Screaming at people when you're angry at them is not the best way to be expressing that energy. Like, yeah, screaming into a pillow, screaming into the void, scream singing in your car, punching a punching bag, like those are all great, but why do we like it's almost sad that we have to have these fixes even for that energy rather than just being like, I'm so angry and just being able to scream right then and there in the doctor's office when you get a diagnosis, you know?
Right, right. Because the whoever we're screaming it to takes it on. It's like, what did I do? Exactly what you said. And I love what you're saying and how you're expressing it, because we're that's again, that's what makes us human, those emotions. Like, the only other being that I know of that has emotions are dogs, but they can't vocalize it. Okay, they can't with howls and moans and or barks, um, but not in the way that we're communicating. And while I do appreciate that, I do know when, I'm in a constricting emotion and it's got me consumed, or an expansive emotion. It is really fascinating that we don't get to talk all about me. Okay, let me take that back. Uh, unless you do and somebody lets you, but there is a lot to be expressed during a cancer journey, probably through life, but let's just look at it through the lens of the cancer journey. And exactly what you said, it's like, I want to scream out expletives. I want to express my emotions. But really what I want is I want someone just to really listen to me and me and me for a set amount of time. And it really feels like a luxury to have a friend do it for, a visit or two. But after a while, or family, but after a while, it's like I'm taking up too much space. They're getting pretty tired of hearing me say stuff over and over again, because I'm still processing and I'm an external processor. So I need to keep processing until it's been processed.
Mhm.
That's why I'm so delighted that I have my coach, who I have 45 to 60 minutes every other week. That's what I choose. Could be weekly if I wanted to, where I get to say anything and it's all about me. And I don't have to apologize. I don't have to say, just bear with me, or can I have a little bit more time? It's like, this is my time. You're here for me. You know how to dig deeper, so to the places where I can't go. And then I come out going, all right. So now I feel heard, seen, and gotten, which is all I really want. And I'm kind of clean and clear in this moment. And all those emotions that I want to scream out is done in a clean way, because they're not taking it on. I scream at the doctor and they might go, "You're too much, lady. I don't want to be your doctor anymore."
Mhm. And because a lot of doctors
Okay,
are trained to be with the emotions in that way, so they're like, "Whoa, where did that come from?"
right.
Yeah,
And I don't want my doctor to run away, because, hey, you're supposed to heal me, at least my body. So, oh my goodness, the contortions we make as humans just to fit in and be accepted and be okay.
right, because there's this, like, social contract that for some reason we all feel that we signed when we are born, that every relationship dynamic is going to be back and forth. Right? It's like, okay, say something and then you say something back, and it should be even just as much as I'm giving you as you're giving me. And um, it's fine to talk to your friends about it. I mean, like, we definitely say, like, get permission first from your friends of what you want to talk about is you, right? And it's not going to be the same as a coaching session, obviously, because you don't know that they're going to fully understand you in that way or what they're going to do with that because you know them in a different capacity than being, your emotional support in this way. And they may not give you what you need in that moment. Just because you're a friend and they get you and they love you, or they're a family member, does not necessarily mean they know how to be with this part of you. Because in general, we're not taught that in our world currently. Hopefully in the future. um, but it's that social contract makes it so much harder for us to even process our own emotions because we want to talk to people that we care about, that know us really well, and yet we can't fully dive in the way that we really need to for our own healing with people that it's almost like they know too much sometimes.
So I wanted to add in that, you were talking about the we're set up to do. I think we were and to fix, to do and to fix. And that truly stemmed from, education. We went to school, we were given problems, we were taught how to fix it. And so, especially when you're talking about mathematics, right? It's like, what's the problem? What's the answer? And there was always a set answer. So we're taught to be good and be specific and try to get the right answer. And not that that screwed us up, but it limited us and the capacity that we have to think outside the box. I know, and thinking outside the box is not a new phrase. It's been around forever. And yet we're still conditioned to be this certain way, which is almost kind of like anti-human. So we're trying to process everything with our friends and our loved ones, and they are in the fix it mode. We're not going to get what we want if we're really trying to process and not just get to a solution that may not be ours because they're trying to fix us. So
Right.
that human cycle just keeps perpetuating itself. I like the idea that one day we could teach everybody to be more coach like, where we're listening with compassion and empathy and openness and not taking on the other person's energy. I think that's a big part where we think that anything that the person I'm communicating with is about me, it's something that I've done, or I interpret it as I caused this. Um, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
boy, being human's a big deal.
Being human is not easy. And then being a human with cancer in your life, whether you're a patient, a survivor, a thriver, or a caregiver, like it's not easy. And it flips things on its head. And I mean, one of the reasons that we are specifically here for cancer is because it is the wake up call for a lot of people. It is the time when people are ready to say, like, okay, I may have put up with this before, but I'm not putting up with it anymore, and I don't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I need support.
Yeah. And we embrace it. I mean, I love this time because people are willing to be truly authentic. And if they don't know what that is, they can lean into us and we help them figure out who they are authentically because everybody is different. Everybody is unique. And there is beauty in every single one of us. And we figure out what that is and we bring it out in them so that they can solidly stand and own it and not keep giving their power away to somebody else to tell them what to do. That's not that's not human.
Yeah, yeah. And we also find that to become even more ourselves, we have to be willing to do the work. And so when people are going through that experience, they are more willing to do the work because they're not willing to go back to the way that things were, which is how you get out of the pit. You gotta let go of something to move forward in your journey. And while, the normal person who maybe has never had a cancer experience in their life, who just isn't ready to jump to the next step, all of these things sound well and good. Like being emotionally intelligent, listening to people, being supportive, like having things attract you that are truly you. It sounds all well and good, but sometimes it takes really um serious life events to then make you like, I'm doing it now. I'm not living any other way anymore. And I need help to figure out how to get there because I don't want this anymore.
Right. everybody has their pit. Doesn't have to be the cancer journey pit, but everybody has a pit. And so that's the beauty of life, is that we get choice, coming back to choice, and we get to grow if we choose to. And exactly like you said, we need to be willing to do the work for a life that's more authentic and real for us.
Mhm.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think that was my takeaway. So, choice is
Is
my
your word.
word, and my pesh is, oh my goodness, 4.5, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. Yeah, choice. How about you?
My takeaway is that, I mean, being human is hard, period. Being human is, so it's and then when we're always in the perspective of reaching perfection or greatness or um only goodness, we really limit ourselves to the full experience that we can be having, and that is innate within us. And then add cancer on top of that, and it makes it even um it honestly just awakens the human part of me, I think. More than anything. It's not like it puts all of that on fire. It just awakens that, like, oh, I I don't care. I don't care about trying to perform anymore. Like, I don't need to perform. I want to be real. Um and I don't have to put on airs for people for their own comfort. I get to communicate how I'm feeling and be as clear as possible because I don't want to feel any other way. I want to have impact and not have forceful control in ways that have like not panned out for me in the past in the way I thought they were going to because they weren't for me. I want to have impact that resonates with who I am. Um
Yes.
and my pesh. Physically I am 4.25. Emotionally, I'm 4.6. Spiritually, I'm a 4.4. And hope is a 4.5. And my word is complexity.
That's excellent word.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with a new episode.
And remember that you are at choice. You're a fabulous human. Just rest into knowing that you are unique, and that's what is important. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.